All right, here we are again, Thursday, noon, Eastern time, beautiful sunny Florida, although they said it was going to rain. Not yet, anyway. Well, we have a rather exciting podcast today because I invited a beautiful lady I met at a healing center, which we spoke about last week, Michelle, and I expect her to come on a little later, and I also met another lady there, Melissa, from cheatfoods.com, and she has an interesting story about healing her MS. So two beautiful women who are sharing something. And right now, of course, Sarah is here. One is already here. And other than that, I have to check. What the heck am I doing now? God, I am scattered. I was typing away, answering questions in the Facebook fans group, and I'm like, oh my, it's almost noon. So anyway,
yeah, time creeps up on us.
It does, and then it goes so fast. It's unbelievable.
It does.
But it is everything is really interesting. With the healing center, let's start with that. Michelle is not there yet. She said she had a little something to do, not for a long time, so she may come on later. Her business is called Love and Healing Energy. And her brochure says, what is energy enhancement system? It generates multiple bioactive life-enhancing energy fields, including scalar waves, based on how the body heals itself, allows cell regeneration, elevate mood and brain fog, provide relief from pain, and increase energy. Her business is in Delray. For us, it was more than a 6-hour round trip, but it is okay. It's always, when I'm with my husband, it's always fun. So we enjoy it and we don't mind the long trip. At this point, it's like I spoke with Colleen about it this morning, like, can we endorse it? No, we're not at that point, but you have to find out for yourself. These healing centers are now actually popping up everywhere. I was amazed to see how many are already open in the last few months and how many will be open very soon. And it's over 100. And they are not only in the United States, they are in Europe, in Australia. Asia I have not seen, but I just scrolled by really fast. If you go to eesystem.com, you can see all the locations. And for me, I have cataracts, and I've had this for a long time. I think at least 10 years ago it started. Usually would say, oh, when you find out, you do an surgery right away. Well, I don't like surgeries much, so I kept stalling it, and I was like, well, let's see how far we can get with the fruit. But even Dr. Morse says cataracts is one of the more difficult things to heal, and we know it takes time. But when you get to a point that you don't feel really that safe to drive, you really have to take actions. And I had read that people who went to one of these centers actually healed from the cataracts. So for me, at this point, it didn't happen. I actually had the nerve to ask Michelle, what do you think, how many times before I find results? And that is an answer that she cannot answer. And I absolutely understand that, because if we would say that, you get into the allopathic industry and it's like, yes, you heal or no, you don't heal. It's different for everybody. It is with the detox diet. It's with Dr. Morse's protocol. It is with anything. We don't know. We don't know at what point you are. Can we compare it to medbeds? We don't know the medbed, so we don't even know what to compare it to. Although I heard someone say somewhere like, oh, this is beyond medbed. We'll have to see. I definitely intend to go back, although it will not be for 3 hours, because after 1 hour and 50 minutes, I had so much energy. It was like, I have to do something. Now, I always have a mind that goes a mile a minute, and so much is always going on. So it is not unusual to have that response. But sitting for 3 hours, laying down and relaxing, that's not me. I could handle the 1 hour and 50 minutes because I had gotten up at 6 in the morning and I was just tired. But yeah, the energy part, that definitely worked. But to the point that you can actually say, like, okay, this is what I would like to do. I'm not there yet. I'm definitely going back to Michelle. And I see that Michelle just came on to the Zoom part, so she can explain a little bit more about her experiences. She has been open, I think she said like 2 to 3 months. And yeah, I would definitely like to hear from her. So welcome, Michelle, to the podcast video. I already introduced you. Actually, I was talking about
Oh, thank you.
what it has been doing for me, and it was like I have cataracts and hoping to see some results. That is why I was asking you, how many times do you think that we need to get results, which you cannot answer and
Right.
should not answer, because you would actually get in trouble if you answer that. So
100%.
yeah, we all already know that. We all know how the well, call it the allopathic industry works, and what you can say and cannot say, and how careful we all have to be. It was like on your brochure, it says experience deep meditative relaxation for healing. Well, I think I need a few more times to get to that point, because I think for me the increased energy that worked more, because I was like, let me get up and do something.
Yeah, you were probably getting a lot of energy.
Yes, I definitely did. I definitely did. So please, yeah, tell us a little bit more about it.
Yes. So yeah, are you familiar with scalar wave? A scalar wave is an infinity wave, and it's been around and been used since Nikola Tesla used this wave. And this is one of the waves that's emitted from the technology. And it actually raises the millivoltage in the cell. So we like to say that the body heals itself. The actual technology, it doesn't heal you. Your body heals itself when given the proper amount of energy, which, mitochondria and all that. So like you have enough energy in your body to do what your body needs to heal itself. So the waves actually raise the millivoltage in the cell, and the cells start to work like the body intended to provide healing, if that's what the body needs. I mean, it could just need energy. It could need anything. Excuse me. And so part of our protocol is also a detox, because when the cells start to be happy, they kick out toxins. And so you want to also, within 24 hours of one of the sessions, being near the light, you want to do a salt bath. So you do a Himalayan salt bath with Dr. Rosemike also has a certain protocol and a certain recipe that she uses that I can provide here as well. I could probably put it on the chat or something. And it's a half part salt and half part baking soda. And that helps to detox the skin, the body. So when you're receiving all this energy, you can properly detox the skin. So I hope you did your salt bath, or we're planning on it in the next couple of hours.
Well, I wasn't home until 7 in the evening, so I didn't get there yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, the 24 hours she says about, so
24 hours.
Yeah, I think you're still good.
I have an appointment at 3, but heck.
Yep.
It is, that is, I didn't know that. It's actually good to know. we are following a lot of Dr. Morse's teachings, and we're all about detoxing. And we, all of us here on the call, and for the new people, it's important to know there are no outside modalities that actually heal you. It's always the body who heals. And because we have been so full with toxins, and the body doesn't even have the energy to get the toxins out if we keep putting it in to foods in the wrong water and air and
Right.
negativity in our life. So it is it's for a lot of people, it's not easy. And what I do expect is that a regular visit to a wellness center like yours, which was called Love and Healing Energy, I like that, would definitely help them more in the detox process.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even if you came once a week for an hour, at least you're recharging the cells. And obviously we have, I call it our healing team. We have a referral network of other practitioners that work more with nutrition, or we don't do any of that here. So we would be able to source out if people are interested in that journey for themselves, more food-based, or even services, coaching, and whatever they may need. Like, we have a large network of people that we provide here as well. So we try to do a well-rounded healing version
Yeah,
for people.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we spoke about that. I am a health coach and a detox counselor. And I'm certified. I trained with Dr. Morse. I'm certified by him. I've been doing this now for a little over 3 years. And
So you would be a great referral.
yeah, thank you. It would be it. But I would get people away from a lot of the foods they have been eating, because I know now what certain foods are doing in a body. And there's a lot to learn for people. And actually, there's more to unlearn than to learn, because
Right.
the whole protocol that we work with is so simple, but doing it is the hard part. And I think that is where you come in with your you can come in with your wellness center. And it is important for people to learn more about it. I have even been thinking about that would be something for me to combine the iridology with with this and the health coaching, get people going.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely need your information so I can pass it along to people that come here, because every day I have people asking me for referrals of different things, and that's unique, and not a lot of people are doing iridology. So I think it would be amazing, as well as, the detoxing services that you provide.
Yeah,
And I'll put my information in the chat.
Very, very good. The beauty of iridology is actually that you can see what is going on in the body before one has any symptoms. And
Right.
because if you wait until you
interesting.
have the symptoms, you get that kick in the butt, like now you have to do something, then it's much harder to do. So when you know
Right.
what are your weak areas in the body, you know that you have to take action and change your diet, your lifestyle, actually. So
Yes.
I cannot
Yes.
see, I don't know if you
100%.
can see if there are any questions. Yeah, you put it now. I will put it in the your information, because only very few people can see the Zoom information, the Zoom messages. I will put it in the Sarah, can you put it in the YouTube chat?
Yes, I can.
In the live chat. I've been messing up with my computer. I cannot see the questions, because can you please let me know if there are any, or let us know if there are any questions for Michelle?
I don't see any just yet.
Okay.
Yeah. And I have about, if there's no questions, or I have a couple of people here, so I have to attend to them in about 10 minutes, but I'm available here for 10 more minutes if that's cool with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. We cannot take time away from the people who are there. They need you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Although it was
Yeah,
easy,
so
it was nice and quiet, and I like the sounds. And with one sound, I was like, I don't know if this is an error sound or something is wrong with the system, or if this is part from the healing sounds. But it was part of the healing sounds. It was. I
well,
like.
yeah, I think the music definitely has a lot to do with it. We have high frequency music, so it definitely works. And we have a lot of like chimes and bowls, Tibetan bowls. And I'm working on some other music right now, some other um, hertz. So as soon as I have that, I'll be incorporating that into the center as well. So yeah, there's a lot of more exciting things coming down the line right now that we're
Yeah,
working
I
on.
heard. I don't know if it was from you or from Melissa who was there, telling me about the groups that you do. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we just had a sound bath, which was really cool, and we had about 20 people RSVP for that, and that was in combination with the scalar wave and the sound vibration and the sound bowl. It really brings in this harmonic that is, it puts you into this amazing trance and really high vibrational, super soothing and deep and relaxing, perfect for healing. So that's why I'm really getting more into the music right now, to so people can have a different experience when they're sitting there, and the body can relax and go better into a healing mode. So we do have the sound bath coming back in February. The next one we're having, if anyone's interested, will be a couple days before Valentine's Day. So I think that was Sunday the 12th. So if anyone's interested, they can contact me and I can give them more information about that. It's going to be the next sound bath that I have on the calendar, February 12th.
So you have actually somebody coming in with these sound equipment.
Yes, this one's a live one.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I will have it incorporated into the regular music that we have, but this is actually a special event with a live sound bowl. And
okay.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
It sounds
So,
sounds
yeah.
very interesting. I have to keep an eye on that date and see if I can make it over there.
Okay, sure.
It would be nice.
We would love to have you.
Anything that that helps us moving forward, even if it is baby steps, as long as we keep moving forward.
Yes.
So yeah, thank you very much.
We're going in the right direction. Thank you so much.
Always. Thank you for being here and explain a little bit more.
My pleasure.
And yeah, we'll have your information also in the description of this video so people can connect with you.
I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.
Awesome. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Toni, I did have a question actually. What is the experience like? Do you walk into a room? Are you in a pod? Are you wearing headphones?
No,
what is the experience?
It is a large room and it had 16 kind of the recliners that you use outdoors. They were actually surprisingly comfortable. And you have a space on that at that chair where you can put your water. And then they have the music playing, and in every corner of the room, it's a large room, they have these panels. If you look at eesystem.com, you will see what kind of panels it are. This was a 24 panel experience. And they have them from 4 panels. You can actually do it in your home. You can even do it yourself. But what I found was that 4 panels, the cost was $25,000. So it's not really something that you would easily put in your home. At least I wouldn't have the funds for that. I do want to go back a few more times. And actually, I would like to make it a regular thing, like once a week. And there will be one that is opening soon in Orlando, which is about an hour away from me. And there is one in Sarasota that is an hour and a half, but it's not 3 hours, although I would love to go back to Michelle because I like it there. It's yeah, what can I say about it other than that? It was just in the room, so you are in a big room, you're not in a pod or anything, and the music is just on the sound system.
Okay. Now it was kind of low, so I was having a little bit of trouble hearing her, but was she saying scalar waves?
Yeah, she was talking about scalar waves. They call it energy fields, including scalar waves. Now there are there's negative information about scalar waves because it can be used for good and also for bad. I have been this goes back at least 15 years ago with a guy named Tom Palladino. And that was all about scalar waves, and that was distant scalar waves. So there is more to learn about it if you wanna really know all the details of it. There is a website that was the scalar wave scam. I think when you type that in, then that's you get that part about what he says, the nonsense that Tom Palladino comes up with, what actually the scalar waves that he talks not about scalar waves, but about scalar lights. Oh, now it's raining actually. Oh. But there is more to learn about it. I like the videos, and I'm not sure if you watched them. I think we did share them last week. I would definitely watch those videos and the brochure and then decide for yourself. I mean, you have to experience it yourself. That is why I cannot, well, endorsing would be saying like, okay, I've great experience, now you do it. I'm not at that point. It's like you want to know how something works and you like it if it works for you. For me, it is actually good to go somewhere, even if it's only once a week, to relax. I'm not great at meditating. I'm great at taking a nap in the afternoon. I don't know. And sometimes fall asleep, but all my dreams sometimes it has happened 2 hours, and then I need to more than an hour to actually wake up. So that is not energizing. Where I was yesterday, I don't remember if I actually fell asleep, but because these chairs there recline, and put a pillow under my knees, and I didn't need a blanket because it wasn't cold there, but they have blankets, so it can be really relaxing and yeah, comfortable.
That sounds nice.
But it is and I even looked up if they are in Ohio, and they are all over the place. There are quite a few and more coming in California. And I was like, okay, if I really like it and have results that I'm hoping for other than energy, because I'm okay with the energy that I have. It's I don't need more, because I cannot I could not channel it anywhere other than it being in the car for a 3-hour trip home. So
oh geez. You're like, how about you pull over and I'll walk a little bit home.
So that was actually kind of funny, but I could see myself having, if we have the results that we are looking for, seeing myself having a wellness center like that, and then incorporate the counseling, the detox center, and because Dr. Morse has been talking about his detox centers for a year now, and as a sort of a franchise. And it's still not happening yet. I think there are a lot of legal issues to be ironed out, so we'll just wait for that. but to be able to combine something like that would be wonderful. Although I have to say, I've been working from home now for so long, going to work every day, not so sure if that is what I would like to do. So.
Yeah, I think about that too. Like, yeah, I'd love to do all that, but I don't want to commit to being in a building somewhere every day.
No, and you can, I mean, you can make your building in as nice as you like it to be, as you want it to be. You know, but still I love it that my time is mine, you know. I can, and since I talked with people from actually all over the world, all different time zones, and my times that I talk to people, I keep them on Eastern times, is unless, you know, somebody needs at the other side of the world and they need it at another time. But I always talk like 11, 3, and 7 in the evening, and schedule for an hour to 2 hours. If you run a center like that, you know, you need to have assistance, you know, or you should do it locally. And I'm not so sure if I want to have a business where local people walk in, but it was something, you know, when my husband stopped working, when he really retires, then it would be something to consider. And it has to help people. See, I'm also involved in another energy healing, which is actually very interesting. And I haven't really worked on it, and that is Genius Insight. If you look up Genius Energy Healing, this is something else that I can offer. And that works distance. So, you know, there are a lot of things to consider and to do. Because, guys, I am looking at my, exit full screen. I found it.
Well, I think it's kind of amazing too to think about, like, if we're talking about energy healing and allowing us to be, you know, the channels of the healing, that the higher you can raise your own vibration through the fruitarian and the way we're supposed to be, grounding, being within nature, and just being happy within yourself, how much you can radiate things around you and help people around you without even necessarily meaning to help people around you. So just imagine if you could get yourself all in alignment and strong and the way you're supposed to be, and actually focus your intent on making people around you feel better or your environment to be better, and just expanding your energy field out to touch people too. And those that are willing will be able to feel it and be open to it.
The ripple effect.
And that's what I think is so important about all of us, is we need to really get ourselves in alignment so that way we can project our energy field to make that ripple effect, to make it heaven on earth.
Absolutely. And that is that you live by example. And that you attract things. And I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I talked with a client, and we were talking about marketing a business. And then I was like, I don't want to market a business. The people I talked to, they found me, and they had to find me. And that is the only way I think that we should work. Not pushing. Now, I understand that information needs to come out about what you do, but in a way, people need to find that information and then, you know, go for it.
That's the way I feel too. Like, the mountains will be moved for people to find you. When it is time for them to find you, they will find you.
Yeah.
They will see your light.
That is so beautiful. I mean, when I had a fashion business. I can say that I started out as a fashion designer. I started out with little things, you know, with using dresses from the 20s into the 50s, and I made new clothes out of it. It was absolutely fun work. I was at flea markets finding all kinds of fun stuff and made new stuff out of it. That is how I started my little boutique, and it grew into something way more than that. And I got to a point that I had my own label. I never took it to the next step, promoting it to other stores, and because I liked the way I was working, the personal contact with people, making people happy, feeling good about themselves because they saw how good they could look. And that was for me too. I didn't do any marketing. I was like, people, word of mouth, they found me, they needed to be there, and they were happy. And with this, it's actually the same way. And I do know there are a lot of struggling counselors, like, how do I get clients? And I think it is by, changing yourself first, realizing what you're doing, what are you sending out, what is the energy around you.
Yep.
Again, the living by example.
Absolutely. That is the biggest thing, you have to, it's lead by example and live by example.
Yeah. So Jay, you are kind of quiet today.
Hi. Yeah, I'm just listening. This is really a great happening. I feel, Toni. I think that these are really exciting times that we're going through, and it seems to me like this is what I'm getting as downloads, is that we are being gifted extended life. And, for myself, I have a daily mantra that I say I'm living for hundreds of years. So, right now, looking at what's happening, I mean, even this particular EE systems, this energy enhancement system, and it being similar to the technology of med beds. I mean, all these kind of things are going to be coming out and being available to us. I mean, like perpetual free energy and things like that. This is really just a phenomenal time to be in, is the way I feel. And living through example. Thank you so much, Toni, for going and checking this out. So it seems to me like you said that you got some energy feelings from it, but nothing as far as your vision yet, huh?
No. It goes by, we'll just see. I mean, I want to go to another center next week, and the price is not crazy. The 3 hours was 165. No, what was it? Yeah, $165. If you do 1 hour, it is $80, and I think I just go for 1 hour the next time. But I figured if I have to drive 3 hours to get there, I better stay there for 3 hours before I have to go 3 hours back. So, but when I go to Orlando, it is closer. So that would be better.
Does Orlando have the 24 panels also?
I forgot. I think so. And they said they were going to open soon, so I don't know if they are open yet. But Sarasota has one, just north of Tampa is one that's an hour and a half away from here. So there are other options, and it is always good to see how others work, how it's going. So there are actually even a few around that have 32 panels. I don't know. Yeah, you would say the energy, 24 panels, it's more energy than 4 panels. But yeah, maybe it has to do with how large a room is. These are yeah, this is information I don't have. I don't know anything about that. I would have to listen to that video of that doctor again that we posted last week.
Yeah, Dr. Michaels.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is amazing though, just to think that more and more centers are opening, and the technology, as the technology gets better, then the price goes down. I mean, I've actually heard that and I think it was listening to Dr. Michaels, that the scalar waves and the energy being emitted from one of these units extends beyond just that locale. I mean, just the area that you might be in. I recollect her saying up to 2 miles. So you can imagine having these in a local town or a city, and if they're, within radiuses of miles. Oh, what kind of cells and bodies are we going to be having? I almost wonder if you could hang out in the parking lot of where these centers are and get that information still from being emitted, because it's out there. It's going out into the airwaves.
There was an interesting thing. When I came in there, she said, has it been explained to you what to do? And I said, no, I don't know anything. And she said, well, you have to you could set an intention about what you want to heal, and then it's stronger. And I was like, okay, but of course I'm always thinking. And they also, not at this center, because she has a dog, so she doesn't really want any other animals around there. There are a lot of centers where you can bring your pets to also to heal. And so I had with Willem, I had a discussion on the way back. So if we would not set an intention about what we want to heal, does our body still heals? Is setting that intention necessary? Because an animal will not set an intention. It's there, and it can have the benefits of the healing energy, but it wouldn't set an intention. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that setting intentions, that's part of our consciousness. That's kind of important, considering that, we have the ability to communicate with ourselves. And I think maybe, animals have a consciousness. They realize that there's something, going on with them. But I really feel that's really important, that if that you're going in there, to heal something. But, I think that our bodies are, and our cells they have intelligence. They're smart. They're little microbiome computers. So yeah, aligning everything with the frequencies. I could just imagine how our bodies are always healing anyway. But if things are just happening in a quantum level like this, this is just amazing. It's groundbreaking to me. I'm excited. I think that we could do something, Toni, like you were speaking to, where we start a business. I mean, if you did do something like that, you wouldn't have to be there all the time. It would just be you were, doing, even if it was a side part of the business where you're doing Iridology or something. But we all have this healing center. I can foresee that. I can imagine it, but I'm excited.
Well, I should have asked Michelle about her experiences with the people she had there, and if there are any healing refuse, because I forgot to ask. I had it in my mind that I needed to ask that, and I forgot. But yeah, that's
what I was going to say about with the animals is the animals are always kind of open and turned on, for another word, that they're open to that healing. They're tapped into that other realm because they don't have the ego that we do. We have the ego where we have to think we may have to set the intention in order to be healed. So if we are just open to the healing, when I go into some situations, depending, the one that comes to my mind is like, if you have a tarot card reading, I don't necessarily have a question, and I haven't had a tarot card reading in many, many years, but it's like they ask you to ask a question. I would always just go in there with what does my higher self need to know? Now, I have different opinions on tarot cards and stuff like that at this time, I guess, depending on who the person is and what there is, because Aaron Gorn, Hero's Journey, I believe he is on Instagram, he has a totally different way of working with the tarot cards than, say, someone you walk into a shop and you're trying to get your love life read about or something like that. But anyway, I think if you are just open to accepting whatever healing, then you're allowing your body to justify where that healing needs to go or where you may need it the most. Whereas animals are already open to that because they don't have that ego.
That actually makes sense. For me, it was like, okay, I focus on my eyes and my knees because that is the most difficult right now. But it is so difficult for us to be of no thought, be quiet, let it come in and do what needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely am not there yet. I mean, Charlie talks about it often.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And I stay closed up most of the time because I work within the matrix still. So I'm very good at shutting myself, like closing myself up. All I usually do is just imagine I'm pretty much just zipping myself up and there's nothing coming into my energy field. But then when I get to a certain area on my drive or a certain town, or I'm finally home again, it's like, then I can unzip and like take that shield off of me to where I can then be open to that. So when I come into a situation with somebody, it's like I'm opening myself up to what they're saying, versus like shutting it off or whatnot.
Isn't that actually the same when we walk like bare feet on the grass,
Yes,
tuning everything out other than the healing from the earth? Or the same when you are in nature or hugging a tree but I think I'm not there yet. I'm not there that it's easy for me to do.
Yep.
And tuning everything else out.
Mm-hmm.
Something to work on.
It definitely takes
Toni,
a lot of practice.
Toni, I was listening to you when you were saying how about meditation, and something that I've learned about meditation is that actually the things that we do, like normally, like you were saying, take a nap or even going to bed. If we go to bed, the most important time of the day is the 5 minutes before we go to bed. Or I would even think take a nap. Or if you're saying going to these healing centers, just as a form of meditation, it's just thinking good thoughts, thinking about the positive things that you want to do, not like dwelling or pondering negative things, because especially when you go to bed at night, you're going to be like dreaming, or your mind is still going on. We're still, our consciousness is working, and it's going to be working on those last thoughts that you had. So I really think that's good that you have the intention right now of going at least, you said maybe once a week or something like that. But yeah, you do. We all do. We meditate. We all have our different ways. I know that for myself, I kind of picture I'm supposed to be like in some kind of maybe, I don't know if they call it a lotus position with your fingers touching your, I don't know, but I find that I do meditate all the time. But I'm working on it, just like you, Toni, working on that stillness and silence, because I know that my mind I guess they're the chattering monkeys. They're always going, it seems like, in my head.
Well, it is interesting. Justin once said something to me, and that was about meditating, and that I have difficulty to do the meditating, be of no thought. And then I think it was Justin who then said, whenever you do something that you really, really like to do, you do not have any other thoughts, then you are meditating. And to me, that, that was very interesting, because I realized when I am out in nature, or when I watering my plants and I see these monarch butterflies or a bee, I have no other thoughts. I am enjoying what I'm doing. I'm communicating with the plants, or maybe even the butterfly who keeps dancing in front of me. But then there are no other thoughts, and it's kind of form of meditation. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. You don't go walk in the woods and then think about all the shitty things that happen in your life. It's just not, you don't do that. I want to go back to what you said about the 5 minutes before sleep are so important. It is, it's really funny. I was just talking a little about the fashion designing. I was not a designer the way a lot of designers are. They make a drawing, and from the drawing, they then pick a fabric and a print, and then make the design. I found the fabric, and then the design was shown to me. And when was it shown to me? In those 5 minutes before I fell asleep. And then the next morning I started working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done this for 23 years, and that I was doing that kind of work. And when I stopped doing that work, I had to find out something else. So now it's usually, okay, what can I change in the yard, in my house? How beautiful is it going to look? But yes, it absolutely always has to be something really positive. And I think that is a healing too, because I love those 5, sometimes it's 15 minutes, before falling asleep. Really feel very appreciative about the comfort I'm in at that point, and how the day was, and how the next day will be. And I think all of these little things, all of that positive feeling, it's all part of healing. And yeah, I hope that a lot more people can get to that point.
Yeah, Toni, that's true, because they say for like big major decisions, that might happen spontaneously or something, and you might feel pressured, and you just ask, can I sleep on that? And generally the answers come to you, because our minds are still working and figuring out things. And so that's really interesting that you would say that.
Yeah, it is like you have a brighter, it's easier to vision things at that moment, because there are no other distractions. There are no visual distractions, because it is dark. And maybe that is how it's meant to be. That little time before you fall asleep, that is for the clarity. Never thought of that before. Interesting.
Well, it does say too, even when we pray to, you go into thy closet and close the door. So you are without distraction. So that would be the same as your meditation as well.
Yeah, interesting.
I hear you, Juan, when you said that, you have a lot of chatterness going on in your head. I suffered from that too for a long time. And it's literally just when you start to do your meditation, when that chatter comes in, acknowledge it and say, okay, I'll take note of that. And then just kind of put it away. Mine was always, my chatter was, wait, you got to do this. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. And it was just all the things I always had to do or try to remember. So I had a piece of paper that was called brain dump. And I would sit down either in the morning or in the evening, and I would just brain dump everything onto that piece of paper. And that helped a lot of my internal chatter to slow down, because then I didn't have to try to remember it. And that really did help with my quieting my mind. And at this point now, granted, when I'm stressed out about a situation, it's different, but about 90% of the time, I can literally have no thought now. And it's really neat. It's very relaxing. In the beginning, it feels like you're just tired all the time, but that's also can be like a response to your brain trying to recover from all the thinking that it's always had to do. And this year I've spent a lot of time really just putting everything in God's hands and trusting the plan. And you can't be, just like a standby person, like you just live your life virtuously every single day and try to do the best you can for your own situation, your family, and everyone around you. But that it really does come, and it's amazing.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. That is a great idea, because I think that for myself, what you're speaking about when, writing something down, there are some really great thoughts and ideas that do come to me when I'm meditating. And I do hear my voice saying, why can't you just not think? Or why can't you just not be, having thoughts? And it feels like I'm really pushing myself to find the stillness and silence. But yeah, releasing it onto a piece of paper is really great, because then you can come back to it later.
Yep. And you're not have to, and then there's not the worry that you're going to forget it. And the other thing that helps too, like what Toni was saying, is, watching the butterfly, or it's mainly just being present. And one of the things I love doing is trying to see every single sunset. I don't usually hit the sunrise, but the sunset I can always almost guarantee I'll see, and literally being in awe of how it looks. And that helps to make stillness and silence in your mind too, is just being caught up in the beauty of something.
Yeah. Another thing too, I see in the chat that Sue said holding your breath for 5 to 20 seconds helps to clear the mind. And I tried something last night where you do this cycle of breathing, like you inhale, and I was doing to like a count of 8. So you inhale, and then you hold that, and then you let it out at a count of 8, and then you hold that, and then you breathe in to a count of 8 and hold that, and it's like a breathing cycle. And apparently that is something that is utilized by even the military. And I heard this from somebody that got this from the Navy SEALs. The Navy SEALs do this before they go out on a mission, so that they are all in tune with each other, breathing wise, because they have to communicate almost telepathically, these special ops soldiers. So that's really interesting that you would be talking about that, Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's pretty neat. I don't know if I could do the breathing or the counting, because then that, since I'm an overthinker and hyper aware, that would probably make me be like, wait, am I breathing okay?
Yeah. Well, I only did it for a few cycles, but it really did help.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I would definitely, if it works for you, then that's fantastic. And I would definitely try, but as soon as you were thinking that, my mind was going, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. But we're all different, and everything works great in different ways for everyone.
Yeah, I see some questions.
Yeah, I was going to say to Katie's question.
Katie, about the water softeners, and you answered with the salt. I see an advertisement on Facebook coming by constantly, and I wasn't looking for water softeners, but that was actually salt free. So you may want to look in what they are using if they don't use salt to make it a water softener. And it depends on if you have well water or city water, because we are considering it too, because we do a laundry with the city water. We know how disgusting the city water is. And the laundry never comes out smelling fresh. And that annoys the heck out of me. And I've tried different soaps. I tried vinegar, and there's always kind of a yucky smell, fake, but we smell it. And so, yeah, I'm definitely going to look into it. Maybe that's why that ad kept popping up on Facebook. I don't know.
A reminder for you. So yeah. I don't know. Do you know how a softener works? So I know the salt takes the hardness out, but then are you essentially getting a form of salt water then?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I had a water softener in my other house, but that had well water. And it
Hmm.
was very hard water. Yeah, and the issue is I live in a manufactured home, and they don't want to put these systems in manufactured homes.
No, they don't.
So I have to look at some other options that are out there. But that one that from that ad, the salt-free water softener, I still have to call them and yeah, and see what they can do.
Yep.
Because all our water goes through the Alexa Pure filter, and then it goes into a distiller. But you know, you don't do your laundry with that.
Right.
And even showers on even my guest bathroom shower has an sorry guys, I know I have an appointment at 3:30, and I think that person keeps calling me to confirm. But we're almost done anyway. But yeah, I do have a chlorine and fluoride filter on the shower head. So I do take, the water, whatever water that we are using, very seriously. But the problem still is you're wearing your clothes, you cover your body with clothes that is washed in dirty water. And that doesn't make sense. And I don't think that the laundry soaps that we use, that it will take it out. And yeah, you would think I talk now about a completely different topics, but I just read on a webpage that was talking about how do you really clean your veggies and your fruits off. And all the things that we're using, like vinegar and baking soda, and there it was explained the only thing that really works to get the pesticides off is water with salt.
Huh.
And I thought that was kind of interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
I don't know how well strawberries would take to soaking in a saltwater bath. I mean, sometimes even the baking soda destroys them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we only have organic, and we usually just wash them off, not adding anything to it.
Yep.
And
well, truthfully, I only eat organic strawberries, but I'll eat non-organic like grapes and bananas. I haven't had a banana in a long time, to tell you the truth. So.
And I have to respond to Sue about animals don't think, so they are more open. Another discussion, I always have wonderful discussions with my husband, and we were talking about, because we have cats. We had a lot of cats. It's a lot less now, but absolutely animals are thinking. And I see so often the proof of that, and you have a lot of animals, so you've probably seen it too, that I actually can see that they are thinking before they are doing something. So yes, animals do things. That is.
I had an experience today. Well, it's been going on because they're building a home kind of like on the outskirts of our pasture. And my horse stands there and he's just staring at the sound while I'm getting his food. Usually he comes and gets his food. So he's definitely thinking like, what is that noise? So I even tried walking him out there today and he's just staring at them. And then you can see that he's thinking about what he's going to do. And then he's like, nah, I'm going to turn around and go back inside. But what I think Sue is maybe saying, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Sue, but they're not thinking maybe like egoically like we do. So they're more open, kind of like what I was saying. They're
no
not
ego
thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no ego,
Right.
So I think that is a difference.
Yes.
Although
they don't run through like the whole thought process like we do, right, and overthink it and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the overthinking part, because I do think that I have a cat with ego. So
oh, cats are very full of ego, that we should say.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, ladies, that cats have an ego, that's for sure. Because I have a cat. Cats are just like, they act like they own the place sometimes,
And they are jealous. I mean, I have 3 cats now in my living space, and they don't like each other. None of them, they don't like each other. So one sits in front of an open window, and the other one is like, how the heck am I going to get that one away from there?
Yeah.
So he's trying out all kinds of things to get her away so he can sit there.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I saw a joke the other day. It said people that are trying to adopt a dog, they have to go through like paperwork, a background check. They have to go and do it like a test visit. Then the dog comes and tests their house out. And then the dog eventually adopts them. And then someone who gets a cat's like, I found it in the trash.
Yeah, and I can tell you, actually, a dog is in many ways much easier than a cat. And they have, it seems cats have long memories.
Yes,
And
they
I have
do.
taken in abused cats.
Oh,
And oh my God, it takes years before they start trusting again. With a dog, it's much easier.
yeah. Dogs are always looking to please, and cats, you have to earn their trust and love.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I let it all, with a cat, you let it be on their time, not on yours.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a cat up who doesn't want to be picked up, forget it.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
It's been
Well,
many years since we've had a dog, but I've kind of put it out there that if one's ready, then we may be ready for one. So we'll see. But yeah, we still have a lot of cats and of course the horse.
Did the cats that were missing through that cold spell, did they come back?
They did.
Oh my gosh.
Let me think. You know what's even more funny is the one cat, long orange hair cat, which had been missing for months even prior, appeared.
Oh
And
God.
so now we have one addition. So, but
Yeah.
I'd always been worried about that cat because it was such a sweet cat. And I'd always hoped maybe somebody picked it up. But now it's like it got cold. What did they do? Throw it outside? I don't know. But yeah, now that kitty's back around and hanging out. So I was happy to see.
Thank you,
Oh,
Sue,
yeah.
for reminding me that intentions help to tell the mind and body what to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's because we get sidetracked. It's like oh, it's not going to work anyway, and yeah, well, I have to see if this is going to work. Those thoughts, they go through my mind too, and the body listens to that also. So yeah, sometimes we have to be reminded to always be positive that the body can heal, because there have been times that I said, I am my own worst enemy because of the negative thoughts. And then I learned you can only have one thought at a time. You cannot have a positive and a negative thought at the same time. It's just not working. So when negative thoughts popped up, you have your way of, writing things down or what you have to do so you can kind of clear it out of your mind. For me, it was these ongoing negative self-talk. And then like you tell a child, it just replace your negative thought with a good thought. And I kept doing it over and over until the negative thoughts were gone. We can do that. Isn't that amazing?
That is.
That is. Sarah, you were talking about your cats, and it's funny because I have one cat now, and I raised her from a little tiny. I actually fed her with a bottle because she was taken from the mother early, and I always have outdoor cats. So they kind of fend for themselves, and she just disappeared. I don't know what happened to her, and she was gone for like a year, and then she just came back. So I was like, somebody must have adopted her or something. But it was pretty amazing that a cat would just decide, well, you know what, I'm going to go back here where I was raised.
Hey, Juan, when you start with cat stories, you can talk to me probably, or I can talk to you about hours of the experiences I had with cats. Because when a cat I had a cat that was gone for a long time, and he always hopped in somebody's car, and not everybody always saw it.
Oh no.
So he actually was in a car from a neighbor, and cat was gone. It's like, oh yeah, well, things happen. We don't know what happened, and maybe he comes back. Months later, he came back, and apparently, and we asked the neighbor because we knew exactly the day that he was missing, and he said, oh yeah, I was there and there. So we found out that cat had walked 15 miles coming back home, and his paws, the little cushions under his paws, they were all damaged. So amazing that that cat actually found the way home, because he got out of that car in the city and I lived in the country.
Wow.
So there are amazing things with animals. I had to one of my old ferals died. I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago. His name was Alex, and his mom is still alive, but she has cancer. And now we are at a point like we know we cannot do anything about it. She's 18 years old, and should we let her go already now? And it's such a sweetheart.
Oh,
So
hard decisions.
yeah, so we are down right now. We are down to 5 cats, and we had quite a few here over the years, and some were with us for a long time, but somehow they never made it past 17, 18 years. And in Holland, my cats were outside and inside whenever they wanted. And there was one cat that was mostly outside. It didn't even eat the food that we had, he was just hunting. When I came back to the Netherlands for the first time after I had immigrated, and that's about 12 years ago now, the cat was, I think he was 23. He was still there. And you know what? He hadn't seen me in 10 years and he recognized me. There are animals they're such amazing things. I absolutely adore animals. And if I watch anything on, because I don't have TV, but if I watch anything on my phone, it's usually about animals.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, and you can see that on my Facebook profile, it's often about animals. I just, they're so special.
They are. They really are.
All right, guys, I have to cut it a few minutes short because I need to call some people back.
Yep, absolutely.
And, thank you all for being here again. And I hope that some questions you had were at least answered, or you have new things that you can explore. That's always good.
Yeah, and don't forget, send your questions to healthywithfruit@gmail.com if you have any other questions. That way that Toni or any of us can try to help answer your questions for you.
Yeah, we love to dig into questions.
We do.
Find solutions. There are always solutions.
Well, love to you all and have a great rest of your day.
Love you. Thank you, Toni and Sarah.
Thank you, Juan.
We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Juan. I actually have one I have to thank you, because Juan sent me a very nice donation that made it possible for me to go to that energy healing.
It's wonderful.
That is amazing. So again, thank you, Juan. Okay,
guys.
You're
welcome, Toni. Love you.
Love you. Okay, guys, till the next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.